Aries, the message that I have for your reading is that God doesn't choose the flawless. He chooses the fractured, because only the shattered can hold the kind of light that doesn't lie. He uses the overlooked, the ones who bled in silence, the ones with scars not stitched in gold, but in grace. When you've tasted rock bottom, you don't preach from a pedestal. You reach from the rubble. Your cracks don't disqualify you, they qualify you. Because when he puts you back together, he doesn't hide the damage, he glorifies it. You've become living proof that resurrection doesn't just happen in tombs. It happens in souls that refused to stay buried. Your testimony was never about perfection. It was always about power, disguised as pain. What do we have at the foundation of the reading? The Chariot, Cancer energy at the foundation of the reading, Aries. Aries, I've been getting this message for you in regards to people that are trying to walk with you into the next chapter of your life. And what's interesting about this is I feel they're not even in your life right now. So I feel that you have moved on. There's people that have been watching your elevation, watching your rise from afar, people that essentially ruled you out. And now these people are trying to plot how they are going to make their way back toward you. And for some of you, I feel there's a lot of emotions attached to these situations, however that shows up for you, which can make these situations rather challenging to deal with when they arise. But you have to understand that this is a test from the universe, a test to see if you're ready for the next chapter, a test to see if you are finally capable of releasing the past and embracing everything that Spirit has waiting for you. Staying tied to the past, especially, let's say, an ex, can cloud your path and stall your evolution. When you parted ways from whoever this is, an ex, family, friends, take it as it fits, your energy shifted. You started attracting new blessings. It's as if everything that was being stagnated by these energies in your life slowly started to flow towards you again. Sort of like when a pipe gets a clog. These people were the clog. And you didn't even realize this because we never really do until we remove these energies from our life. And then all of a sudden, we begin to get movement in sectors of our life that maybe felt inaccessible to us. But what you really need to understand is that reopening these old wounds only confuses the frequency you have worked so hard to elevate into. You didn't walk away, or you weren't removed, or maybe they walked away, whatever it may be, without there being some sort of cause attached to that, right? There's a reason. Truth was exposed to you, or maybe it came to you once you were on your way. And as you have been moving forward, your life has been making room for something real, something you don't have to chase. So let go with peace if these energies try to make their way back into your life. Let the past be the past. Give yourself a fighting chance. And if you do this, the rebirth will find you. It's universal law. And what's interesting about this Chariot card is that we're seeing two individuals here, seemingly bound at the hands, being led by this chariot. And there's a crowd back there who, they just seem kind of raucous, right? But there's an energy from these two individuals that doesn't necessarily feel celebratory. The chariot, by definition, is an energy of victory, energy of moving forward. But as we can see there, from a distance, that looks like that yellow caution tape, right? There just seems to be a cautionary energy to all of this. You're preparing to move forward, and then all of a sudden this person pops up. Male or female, it doesn't matter. But see how you're looking over? It's almost like, oh, where did you come from? This person's like, oh, I've been around. I mean, they're standing there half naked. So God knows where they've been. Again, male or female. But it just gives this energy where somebody has gone around the world and they haven't been able to replace you. And now as you rise, here they come, barreling back into your life, trying to get a piece of everything that you have worked for and everything that the universe is getting ready to bless you with. Right on the bottom of the deck, 3 of Cups, Strength, 5 of Cups. So and King of Cups. So here's this celebratory energy. This is you, Strength card, having the strength to overcome this situation. Walk away, Five of Cups, from these people who didn't see you for who you really were when they were in your life. King of Cups. Now, King of Cups is a very stoic energy, so I feel that this is the approach that the divine is wanting you to have towards this situation. You haven't gone through all of this to get to this point, having not gathered a lot of very valuable wisdom, and now better off for having gone through these situations, which is exactly why you shouldn't look back. You don't need to repeat what you have already been through. And if you don't think that you can get better, well, then you need to work on your self-confidence, okay? Because from what I'm getting here, there's a lot waiting for you on the horizon, but there just seems to be this little thing in the back of your mind. What if? Right? Almost like you feel that you need to prove yourself to someone, or, you know, I'm picking up family members again here now, right? It's like all of a sudden you start to succeed after you've moved on from really anybody in your life. And because you're a good person, you want to share it with them. You want them to see it, right? But the sooner you release the need for any sort of validation, which you may hear that and say, I don't need validation. Sometimes that can be buried on a deep subconscious layer that is the result of some sort of trauma. But if you can just face that, understand it, make peace with it, and move forward, you will allow the divine to stack blessings on top of blessings that you will begin to see flow into your life. Nothing that you have left behind or has left you behind is going to make your forward momentum any better. Remember, you never had that forward momentum when those elements of the past were in the equation. What do we have? The sacral, please. King of Wands. There is your energy, Aries. Right there at the sacral. A part of their karma is seeing you on your throne, metaphorically speaking. Seeing you in all your glory. By no means to show off, but rather for the universe to teach them a lesson on how to treat people, which ultimately works in their favor of helping them evolve as individuals. Your success is a lesson in their life. Don't keep that from them. Understand your positioning not only in your own life, but in theirs. You're a born leader. You have a vision, however that resonates for you, and whatever it is you're charging towards. They've always known this, but for some reason they wanted to repress this because it was threatening to them and made them feel small. And this is very common nowadays, although I feel it's something that has probably been there since the beginning of time. But for you, it's something that you are starting to actually realize now because it took you succeeding or heading towards that success for it to be revealed to you. See, you never really know who's holding you back until you release them and allow the divine to align you with your true north. Then you sort of look back or you think about things that you've overcome and you're like, oh, I never saw it like that. You know, I don't think that person ever supported me. I feel like they were always kind of against me, but smiled in my face. And sure enough, they were always a common denominator. I shared everything with them. And sure enough, things that I wasn't able to succeed at back then, I'm now succeeding at, and they're no longer in the equation. That's not a coincidence, Aries, okay? What this is a hard truth. It hurts. It truly does. Because there's a lot more things attached to that than just the simple illumination of who somebody really was. It's paradigm shifting. You start to look at everything different. You start to question the very fabric by which your entire life has been constructed upon, which leads to your ultimate awakening. Your grand ascension is really what it comes down to. I just heard, are you ready for the truth now, Aries? And that's spirit speaking to you. Because becoming a lone soldier was the only way that you were ever going to be able to align with your mission as a means to fulfill your destiny in this lifetime. You can't carry people to the top of the mountain. It makes no sense. What these people want from you is something that looks a whole lot like an individual carrying somebody on their back to the top of Mount Everest, just because. And right on the bottom of the deck, I have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so see how there's this mountain here, right? And there you are sitting there, holding back, but there's a pentacle sitting on top of your head, and you can't see it, but he's actually holding these coins against his chest. He's holding back from something. He's holding on to something that he doesn't realize he doesn't actually need. Because the truth is, if he loosened his grip, there's far more to gain on the other side of that mountain. What do we have at the solar plexus? Ace of Cups, water energy at the solar plexus. Aries, where you're going, it's all about new energy. Nothing from the old timeline will be carried over. Spirit is requesting of you that you let go, however that looks for you. I feel a lot of you waited, whatever that means for you. And then as soon as your number was called and your rise began, all which you waited for started to flood towards you, which made it feel like the two were connected, which they most certainly were connected, but not in the way you think. They were connected in the way that your rise was their fall, not your rise is them coming back to share in it with you. I just heard, while the patient beg for clarity, you sit in silence and become it. You've remained very rooted and unshaken, and this is why these opportunities are beginning to flow to you now. You've had this power that has been slowly gathering inside the stillness, inside that space of waiting for your number to be called. You didn't try to control the narrative. You just let go. I also feel that there's an energy here where you're looking at some of these energies that we've been speaking on in a sort of desperate way that you hadn't recognized before. Simply put, it's like an old energy coming back from the past. And the way they carry themselves, their demeanor, you don't remember being the way it is. It's desperate. It's obsessive. It's overplaying its hand. It's like anxiety in a costume. You start to see how truly deceptive these energies were and that they were actually watching from afar the entire time, waiting, plotting, in the back of their mind always thinking, well, if it doesn't work out over here, I can always go back to Aries. For some of you, there was a point in time where you entertained that idea, but not now. Something's changed inside of you. Not that the person you once were was bad or any lesser of an individual, but you just weren't as awake to the lie as you are now. We all come from this space. There's not a single person listening to this reading right now that isn't going through this right now or hasn't been through this at one point in their life. We're not born awake. We're born asleep. And it takes many years, even decades, to wake up to the slumber that every single one of us has been in for most of our lives. And when this happens, nothing looks the way it once did. Everything smells different. Everything feels different. Everything sounds different because it is different. Because now what you are sensing is truth. It's not filtered through the lie of what it thinks you want to see, hear, and feel. What do we have at the heart, please? The High Priestess. Right there at the heart. Pisces energy. You have to understand that when your energy shifts, people start slipping away. And that's actually not loss. It's alignment. It's all a part of it. Think about it like a scene in a play. As soon as it's over, all the actors and actresses take off their costumes and they go home. It's just like this. The scene is over now because you have seen behind the curtain. You know who's who and what's what. They cannot pull the wool over your eyes any longer. And this is the result of your connection with spirit. You're not losing anyone. You're rising beyond them. See, a lot of this has to do with the fact that your growth makes their comfort zones uncomfortable. The more you awaken, the less noise you tolerate, the more you evolve, the less you will accept what no longer fits. I'm also hearing something here about your thoughts and the way you communicate with yourself, okay? This is very important. Your self-talk is a kind of spell work. If you are constantly speaking doubt into your life, you're going to be faced with resistance. Speak truth and the universe bows. You are the author of your frequency, Aries. Change your words, change your world. Period. This is one of the bigger lessons you're going through right now. You're understanding that you are the master of your reality, and it all starts with your mind. And then your words, which are obviously an expression of your mind. I just heard positive affirmations. So whatever that means for you, whatever you need to do to support you, to remind yourself of who you are and what you came here to do and what you've already overcome, which should also arm you with the understanding that just because you have overcome something doesn't mean that it won't try and weasel its way back in, because it most certainly will. So move forward with discernment, with power, with boundaries. And remember, if they never accepted you at your worst, whatever that means for you, they don't deserve to enjoy you at your best. What do we have at the throat? Nine of Wands, Sag energy at the throat, literally followed what I just said in regards to moving forward with discernment, boundaries, right? And here it is, right there at the communication. There's most certainly this salivating wolf trying to breach the perimeter that you have put up around your life. I'm also getting a very reactive energy from whoever this opposing force is now. It's like you express yourself in a way that lets this other energy know that you're not interested or it's not happening, right? Something like this. And then you really start to see their true colors. It's like they react to you and your boundaries. God, in my mind's eye, I am seeing a very innocent looking woman, very beautiful, very soft-spoken. And then as soon as you say no, she turns immediately, snap of the fingers, into this snarling, drooling beast. Obviously reverse the genders. But the fact I am seeing a very soft-spoken woman in my mind's eye could just really be describing the kind of energy that they approach you in, whether it's male or female. It just feels very innocent. It feels very open. But really, underneath it all is something so dark and sinister, something that needs to get its hooks back in you, because unless it does, they will be indebted to someone or something. What do we have at the third eye? Wow, unbelievable. Look at the illustration. There you are with the sword, and here is this beast, right? You're like, oh my God. You looked so beautiful and sweet a moment ago, I almost caved. And now look at you. You're a monster. Nine of Swords at the third eye, just as I suspected. For some of you, this is difficult for you to do. I feel that you're at a point in your life where you may be constructing boundaries around certain areas of your life that maybe you didn't do before. Maybe you just were a bit willy-nilly with your energy, right? Maybe you didn't speak up when people treated you poorly in the past. Maybe you were a bit of a pushover. That's okay. Everything happens for a reason. It's because you needed to gather wisdom from that space. The universe needed to use you to expose these people, right? It says more about who they are than you, Aries. I feel that you've given a lot of people chances. And now this new season that you're stepping into, things are going to be different. There's people that are in your life right now. It's because they deserve to be there. But I feel very confident in saying to you that I promise, if they're not in your life right now, there's a very good reason why. And if you're still struggling to see what that is, then maybe you just need a little bit more time, a little bit more healing. And that's okay. These energies that come for you in this capacity, they can distort your perception of reality. They truly can, especially when there's emotions involved. They play a kind of puppeteer in your life without you knowing it, especially when they do this knowingly, tugging on your heartstrings every which way, deliberately, merely because you opened yourself up to them. This is why love is such a dangerous space to enter into with the wrong person. It can be amazing with the right person, but the right person is sometimes few and far between, right? That's what makes it the right person. There's a rarity attached to it. If everybody was the right person, then love wouldn't hold such a high value to us. Right on the bottom of the deck, Seven of Wands, okay? So I feel this is what you're overcoming right now. You're rising above. You're standing up for yourself, however that looks for you. I feel that it looks something like this, okay? And this. But there could be more than one person involved, especially if it has to do with family dynamics. And, you know, I truly believe that a lot of what we deal with in these family dynamics mirrors itself in our relationships, or it really just mirrors itself in many areas of our life until we fully heal it, until we fully wake up to it. It's like the universe keeps bringing the same energy into our life until we're ready to let go of it. And sometimes it could just merely be the fact that we haven't compartmentalized what that may be yet. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit? The sun. So the sun being the most high vibrational card in the tarot, it's also showing us here that you have a lot of success on the horizon, quite literally with the sun, right? On the horizon. So I feel that this message is coming through in such this potent manner. It's also coming through in a very poetic way as well. And this is all to leave you with something to remember, right? Sometimes all it takes is listening to a reading and hearing that one line that sticks with you. And it's that one line that arms you with something that is beyond words that triggers the breakthrough to happen. And to add further to what I said in regards to the universe repeating these cycles in your life until you wake up to them, a lot of the times we confuse that with bad luck, right? When the same wound shows up in a new disguise, but it's not bad luck. It's a kind of code that's running on autopilot. You don't learn the lesson, it simply repeats itself. And this makes so much more sense once you see it and you break it. You get on the other side of it, you're like, oh my God, I can't even believe it. It was just a pattern. It was a repeating code. I needed to recode the program by gaining perspective over whatever it is, right? If you don't learn the lesson, life repeats it. And we can also confuse this with fate, but it's not fate. It's just a kind of echo of your inner dialogue, right? It's like you saying you're not good enough, and so the world delivers proof. Okay, if you say so, right? That's manifestation 101. Okay, what do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Unbelievable. The star, Gype. Now, whenever I get this card, it's like star read in its negative polarity. It's like this little demon's like, go ahead and hand over that purpose to me, Aries. You're not going to be needing that. It's like this is this energy, right? Right there. The one that sees you moving forward. The one that's been around the world. And I just heard that song, been around the world and I can't find my baby, right? It's like that's this person. Been around the world and I can't find my baby. This energy is coming to divide and conquer, okay? Period. This person also has a program running inside of them that they have not recoded yet. It's a program that tells them that they need to sabotage anybody who tries to get away from them, even if they have been gone from your life for an extended period of time. You know, Aries, I've had this happen. I've seen it happen to other people. When you think that somebody is years behind you, all of a sudden popping up, just like magic, poof, when you're doing better than the version of you that they once knew. I can't tell you how truly alarming this is when this happens, Aries, if you haven't experienced it yet. It's in these moments that you feel Spirit riding shotgun with you. It's like Spirit is nudging you saying, see, I told you they'd come back as soon as you started doing better. And in some cases, not all of you, but some, they triggered your elevation. Maybe they left you down and out, heartbroken. You thought to yourself, well, I'll show them I'm going to become the best version of myself that I've ever been, right? And as time goes on, you kind of forget about that and you're just on your new path. But eventually you look back and you start to examine everything that you have been through up until that point, and you realize that had they not have come into your life, maybe things wouldn't have turned out the way they are in that very moment, which is a place you like being, right? And this is when you find yourself embracing that peace for what you may have gone through with that individual. You're grateful for the lesson, and somewhere amongst all of that, you also realize that you have truly arrived at the person that Spirit was always trying to get you to align with. These sorts of situations run in cycles. It's no coincidence, right? There's a reason why we always hear, oh, here they come, they're coming back, blah, 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 because there's a pattern. The pattern has to complete itself. This can also be called justice in spiritual circles, when the scales tip in your favor, because universally it must happen. Whether you even care or not, it doesn't matter. It just has to go down this way. But I can tell you that when it does happen, oh, it's mind-blowing, especially depending on how they decide to re-enter into your life. But that will reveal everything when it happens, if it hasn't already. It will tell you everything you need to know in that very moment. It's like Spirit is standing by your side, like, okay, do you understand now what you weren't able to understand back then because you weren't awakened to the truth the way you are now? Okay, now are you ready for the next chapter of your life? Because we got a lot to do, we got a lot to see, and we got many new people waiting for you. And then right on the bottom of the deck, 10 of Swords, an ending and a beginning. 2 of Swords. So whenever I see this card, it's like a greasy salesman, right? They're sticking their neck out for you, acting like they have something you need, right? Oh, come on, Aries. I'm always sticking my neck out for you, right? I just left you behind back there because, you know, I just wanted you to grow a little. But here I am now. For some of you, they did you really dirty, okay? I don't even want to speak about some of the things that I just had come through, okay? But it's almost like you were a wounded dog backed into a corner. They just kicked dirt on you, spit on you, right? When we all hear something like that, it makes you sad. It makes you kind of angry, right? That anybody could do that to a wounded dog, right? But that's the energy of what I'm feeling here. It's like they left you for dead. In some cases, these people are so broken that they may have actually wished that into your life because it would arm them with a great story of pity. Pity that they can extract from other individuals that they vampirize off of. Wow. Knight of Swords. Okay, so Knight of Swords is an energy of deliberate cruelty, right? What do we have, the sacral? Two of Cups at the sacral. So for a number of you, this is in regards to a breakup, okay? Because this Two of Cups is really speaking about some sort of, I'm picking up on a lot of jealousy. It's like somebody trying to make you really jealous, but then flipping the script on you, right? It's like intuitively you know that this person isn't faithful. So you question them about that. And then they say to you as a response, why are you so jealous, right? And essentially gaslighting is really what it comes down to. And then they flip the script. Why are you accusing me of something? What are you doing, right? This person is a master manipulator. Yeah, I'm picking up something here surrounding this individual. Okay, now what I'm about to say could also connect to friends and family dynamics, but it's like individuals trying to trigger a reaction out of you to blame you for the way things went down. But this was all, they calculated this, right? This was premeditated. They planned to get a reaction out of you. So it looks like you are the one to blame for something. Three of Wands. Shadow Aries energy at the solar plexus. Unbelievable. Following what I'm saying here, because this Three of Wands is really speaking about individuals triggering a response out of you, which causes you to approach the situation in a careless manner, which in turn places delays and obstacles on your path, setbacks. So they set you up for your own failure. The reaction that they extract out of you by their treatment of you causes you to self-sabotage, which led you to being seen in an unfavorable light by other individuals, other energies, which had an impact on your own self-confidence and movement forward, which, in some cases, depending on what it is, can take years to come back from this. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. Unbelievable. Seven of Wands, Glacea Labalis, and look what it says right there. Black magic, right? So everything I just explained to you, that's a kind of spell, okay? It's premeditated. It's something they planned, triggering a response, a specific action out of you to alter the trajectory of specific events in your life is without a shadow of a doubt a kind of black magic, altering the narrative surrounding your life to place themselves in a more favorable position. And then we have the Magician, Nephea, spiritual wisdom. So now, right underneath this High Priestess, this is what Spirit has illuminated to you. And this will keep trickling in as time goes on, meaning Spirit will expose more and more to you, right? But you have transmuted this energy beautifully, or you're in the process of this right now. You're seeing that some sort of meticulous plan was crafted to keep you entombed inside a certain space. Entombed, right? Essentially dead to the world, useless to the world. And I mentioned in the message before we started the reading that the resurrection doesn't just happen in tombs. It happens in souls that refuse to stay buried. They thought for sure this would end you, stop you, keep you stuck. I'm picking up on a very vampiric energy. It's like this person has been feeding off of you from afar, from a distance, right? How does somebody do that? Well, it's like if they know that they left you in such a state and that they linger inside your thought process, even years after the event, that's a way of vampirizing your energy. They're feeding off of your pain, off of your suffering, which all falls under the umbrella of fear, right? Because it hasn't been addressed, it hasn't been healed, which is all the result of feeling disempowered to circumstance, which is why, now we're going full circle, they always come back when you self-empower, because it's like they have that energetic cord attached to you. And as soon as you self-empower, right, you break free, it's like the cord becomes tighter. It's getting ready to snap, and they can feel it, right? They're losing their supply. And look at that right on the bottom of the deck, the devil, right? And he's shuffling off because he knows you have seen him, or she, or whoever it may be. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? 5 of Cups, Scorpio energy at the throat. Right there. Prosperity, destruction of the enemy, and deliverance from bondage. Literally followed what we just said, right? That's why this happens, right? Hey, Aries. And you're like, what the? I haven't seen you in 8 years. Why don't you have a top on? Oh, well, you know, I've just been around the world. This is you finally moving on. It's over. Cycle's closed. You know, these sorts of karmic cycles, Aries, depending on what the lesson is, depending on what your mission is, they can go on for years, you know. Just when you think you've moved on from someone or something, a shadow pops up in your peripheral vision, a memory, something, right? Makes you still feel connected, or like something is still tugging on your energy, something that just won't seem to let you be free. But this right here is an energy of freedom. It's also a warning that this energy, in some capacity, will reappear before those chains that have been binding you to them or it finally break away. It's like they've been hanging off your energy and they feel you cutting the rope, so to speak. So they're scurrying as fast as they can back up the rope before you cut the line. And right as they're getting ready to scale the last couple of inches of that rope, you look down at them right as they reach up for you. You see that slithering demon. No, Aries, don't cut the rope. And you cut it. They fall away. Ear-piercing scream. Blood-curdling. They fall into a lake of fire and just burn for all of eternity. Okay, let's keep moving forward. What do we have at the third eye, please? There's that devil again. 9 of Wands. What do we have at the third eye, please? 7 of Cups. Scorpio energy at the third eye. So here you are now, okay? Having cut the line, right? You've broken the cord. And it's like you're sitting with the divine courts. You're sitting with spirit. And you're like, I can't believe it. I was in that cycle for 8 years, 10 years, right? Contemplation, right? Makes truth known. So this is spirit showing you everything that's happened. I just heard bringing you some sort of understanding as to what you've been through and how it was all meant to unfold like this. Because on one hand, it rises you up into your allocated position in the universe. And on the other hand, it exposes the energies, right? Like you're a spiritual detective that now allows the universe to go in and start working with these energies, getting them to transmute, all which is keeping them in this lower vibration. So there's many layers to this. It's pretty much beyond explanation. But all I can say is if your imagination can think it, then that's probably somewhere along the lines of what is true here. Okay? 8 of Wands, Sag energy at the crown to close out the reading. Perfect. So the 8 of Wands here is representing this very quick movement forward now. And it's interesting because we began the reading with the Chariot and we end on the Eight of Wands. Both of these cards are very fast-moving energies, okay? They represent kinds of life changes that are unfolding in your life. But see how right here, you're by yourself now, okay? It's almost as if this is representing you getting ready to elevate, you getting ready to move on. Then this energy comes through in the 11th hour. And then all of this unfolds so Spirit can get you to understand why this person cannot go with you. So however this resonates for you, Aries, I hope that I've delivered a message through to you that helps you to understand what may be unfolding in your life energetically. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. If you would like to join my members section, I upload additional readings there, and I am open for personal readings. You can find all that information in the description down below. And lastly, if this reading resonates with you, Aries, drop me the Aries zodiac symbol and or leave a comment down below, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care.